Hey guys, Johnny Vickers here. It's been requested that I make a video on my holsters. So I'm gonna do one on the process. So it's gonna be a quick video. I'm not gonna show you all these step by step and talk you through it because I am not a leather expert. I'll just show you quickly on how I do it, and I don't have any I don't have any fancy leather tools. I need to get some. So here we go. So pardon me, I don't have any tripods or anything to prop my camera up, so I have to do everything one-handed apparently. So as you can see, I have my pistol. This is the pistol I'm gonna be making the holster for, and you can see it's empty, nothing in it. And start with paper. I draw my holster out first, and so anyways, so I'm gonna trace the gun out. So I'll do a taco style holster, meaning that the holster is gonna wrap around the pistol, and I will draw it out. There, as you can see, I traced the pistol out, and now it's time to draw what I want the holster to look like. So I got my holster drawn out. It's going to be a kind of folded. So that's what the front looks like, and it's going to be a taco style holster. And that's the back. And so the belt loop, it's going to be at a cant. Goes through here, through the back. So there's actually going to be two pieces of leather. So it's going to be the main leather piece, and then I'm going to have to cut out a secondary piece for this. And that is to kind of stiffen it up and reinforce it, and the belt loop. So of course this piece is going to have to be, I'm going to have to make sure I make it longer for the thumb brake strap. So I got my two pieces cut out. So this will be one piece of leather right here. This will be the other piece. So now it is time to trace these two pieces on my leather and cut them out. As you can see on this piece, I got the longer piece on here. So awesome. Can't really see it because I did it in pencil, but I traced my pattern out on my sheet of veg tan leather. So now it's time for me to just cut it out. Now that I got my leather pieces cut out, that's the two pieces, and the next step would be to, I like my holsters lined with leather sway because it's just softer on the finish of the gun, and it just goes in, comes out smoothly. So I will glue this side, glue the other side of the leather sway, stick them together. I got the sway glued to my piece of leather. So now it is time to trim the sway excess pieces. There, I trimmed off the leather sway. So now it's soft on one side and just veg tan on the other side. And my next step that I am going to do is I'm going to have to bevel these edges to make them more round. Okay, you guys can't really see it. It doesn't really show up on the camera. But what I did, I had to bevel the edges, and I don't have a beveler, so it takes me a while. But I have to use a knife to bevel these edges that needs to be slicked in and burnished. There we go. I went ahead and I dyed it my Shadow Tan. I like this color a lot. I actually use this in a lot of my holsters, and it's actually a popular color. 'Cause for me, I like this like, I don't know, it's like this rugged, almost vintage look to it, as opposed to like a dark brown or a black. I like some character, and for me personally, the Shadow Tan gives it a little bit more character. So, well, I didn't tan right there because this is just going to cover it. But so I have it tanned, and now I'm gonna kind of slick the edges and do some burnishing around parts of these edges. Alright, now that I got my edges nice and smooth and slicked, now I am going to glue this piece. Alright, so I got this glued, got that side glued, and you see I did not put any glue right there because I need that open. That's where my belt loop goes through. Same for right here, there's no glue here. That's where the belt needs to go through. So I was careful, and I will explain that hole momentarily. Alright, now that I have these two pieces glued on, and that hole that I have right there, that is so that my thumb brake snap is rest inside that hole, and now it's going to be flush with the leather. That way when I holster, draw my gun, the gun is not going to drag on that metal button because it is flush with the leather. Alright, so I went ahead and I kind of punched all these holes in where I'm going to stitch, because I do all this by hand. So I have my starter holes to where I know where to stitch. And so since this is going to be folded over, this end and this end is actually a mirror image of each other. So what I did was I did this, punched the holes in this so that way it mirrored that side, and then I went ahead and did that. So theoretically, when I fold this together, it should match up perfectly. And right here, this is just for looks. I'm gonna do a stitch down here. This is like for the sight channel. It's just to give the holster a little bit more character. Okay, so now I got this all stitched. So this piece is all stitched on. So I don't know if you guys have seen any of my other videos, but I've shared that I have multiple sclerosis, MS, and man, it's getting a little more difficult for me to stitch these by hand. Oh my goodness, it took me a while to do all this. But so this right here, my kind of like it's just kind of like for looks. It's like the sight channel. Like here's the one that I've made. It just gives it a little extra bang, you know. It just gives it a little more character. So so that's what I'm doing with this. So this is the taco style holster, one that I made last year, and this is for a Star 9mm 1911. That was a really sweet gun. I wish it was mine, but it was being lent to me. I just made a sample holster. So I guess in a way, this holster is going to look a lot like this one, but with black stitch. And well, this one is a little bit darker, but once I get oil on it, it'll darken up a little bit more. So yeah, if you're wondering what these stitches are for, it's to give it this look. And like I've showed you guys before about the snap, like right here, that button, the snap is resting inside the leather, so it doesn't catch on the pistol or anything. But like here's a sample of my dark brown one that I did. This one is for a full size 1911 5-inch barrel, and I mean I still like the dark brown, but I don't know, I like lighter colors better, especially with my Smith & Wesson that I have. I think the lighter colors will look better with, you know, the stainless steel and black two-tone finish. Okay, I didn't do anything fancy. I just put just simple designs on there, and I wet the leather right here, so that way I can fold it without cracking or damaging the leather. So now I'm gonna glue right here, and I'm gonna glue on this side, and then I will stick it together. It's kind of risky doing it this way. I really hope my holes line up. If not, this could be interesting. Okay, it is currently Friday the 13th, and this is the last of my black thread. I don't know if I have enough thread to finish it. I don't know if I'm feeling lucky or unlucky. Oh boy. There we go. Had just enough. I was getting a little worried. Just kept getting smaller, smaller, but I had just enough thread. So now that it's all stitched, I have to just sand this and make it even. Okay, now got the boat loop cut out, got it slicked. So the next step would be to get it wet and shove my gun in there and mold it to the gun. Alright, I totally forgot that I'm filming, so I did a few extra steps. So I got it molded. I started applying some oil on it, and so I'm going to oil the whole entire holster, and the oil kind of helps waterproof it, and plus it makes it a little bit darker, and so I do want to darken this up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and oil, and I also put the edge coat on it, so that protects the edges and it waterproofs the edges. So you can see now the edges are all black. And that's what I wanted. I wanted the edges black to kind of go with the look of the pistol, the two-tone look. Okay, now that I have it oiled, I'm gonna go ahead and put my sheen on it. Right, now there's the finished product. I was able to manage to prop my camera up so I can use both my hands. Wish I would have done this in the very beginning. Or figured out how to do it in the very beginning. So here's the finished product. It's nothing too fancy. It's nice, it's hard, it's sturdy, and I like it. I think it looks pretty good. And thumb brake goes in nicely. There we have it. actually it's snug enough where it won't fall out of the holster. The retention has a nice tight retention. But that's gonna loosen up. There's the holster on. I don't know about you guys, but I think it looks pretty sharp. Looks nice and professional, doesn't it? But there you have it. There's the holster. Well, it's on. Still need to be broken in. It's a fresh holster, but it pulls out really softly, the gun, and it goes in really smoothly. There you have it. A Vickers custom holster. Looks great, doesn't it? Nice and sharp. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's snow. Snow. I live in Michigan. It is April 14th. It is springtime, and yet we got snow. What's up with that? Okay, enough of the snow. Holster. There it goes. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys taking the time. I know you guys have busy lives. But if you like it, give me a thumbs up. If not, just leave it alone and watch a different video. Leave me some comments, some suggestions, ideas of what you like to see. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.